आसन लोए लोए पंडार जो किच पाया सो एका वार जो किच पाया whatever has been placed there so eka var. We've seen this word var before, and it's worth refreshing our memory as to what the meanings can be of this word var. So the first example of var has an onkar on the last letter, and that means day. We see an example of that in the days of the week, Somvar, Mangalvar. So that's a masculine singular word. When we take the onkar away from the word var, then it can mean days, the plural. But it can also mean vari. In Punjabi we use the word vari. That is the feminine version of that word, which means your turn, or it's your time. And we saw an example of this right at the beginning of JAPJI Sahib. Soche soch na hove je sochi lakh var, many times. We also have var spelt with a sihari at the end of the last word, at the end of the last letter, and there that means sacrifice, which comes from the word varya. Varya na java ek var. That's where we've seen varya and var. One time var, varya means to sacrifice. So here, looking at these different spellings, we can understand that Guru isn't talking about days, because if you were to say eka var, one day, it would have to be spelt with an onkar, because it's one day. You can't say eka var means 1 days. Grammatically that doesn't work. So we understand exactly that this word var without an onkar is the feminine version, which means one time, once, only once. Jo kich paya so eka var. Whatever was placed into this store of wealth, into this treasury of wealth, was done so only once. What Guru is saying here is the wealth that you are now experiencing, having broken the shell of your ego, that wealth was only stocked once and doesn't need to be replenished. Any other wealth, any other warehouse, the stock will run out. This is a warehouse of unlimited wealth. It only needs to be stocked once. Jo kich paya, whatever has been placed into that treasury of wealth, only needed to be stocked once. So eka var. This wealth of the universe isn't going to run out for you. The bliss of the non-ego experience is not a temporary high. No other experience in the universe can keep you going. No other happiness in life lasts forever. No other intoxication will keep you intoxicated. No other pleasure continues giving. Everything wears off. The pleasure, the experience of the non-ego is the only thing that continues to give. And it only needed to be stocked once. Your misery has a solution, and the solution is already here. The solution has already been given. The shelves have already been stocked with the antidote. And they were there from the moment that you were created. The moment creation was created. But you don't need to obtain this. This isn't a product that you need to go somewhere else to buy. This is something that is already within you. The solution to your misery is already there within you. You don't need to obtain it. You just need to live it. You just need to see that it's there. You need to experience that it's there. You need to be it. And remember, asana loe loe, it resides in light of all, and it resides in the light of you. So you don't need to do anything to gain your own light. You already are that light. In fact, that light is what feeds you. That light is what is keeping you alive. That light is what has created you. That light is what sustains you. You may need wealth in order to feed your physical body. In order to feed your body, you need material wealth. But this light doesn't need your wealth. This light is your wealth. It is so rich that it feeds you. It feeds your aliveness. You don't need to do anything to feed this. That is the meaning of the word Saipang that Guru Nanak Dev Ji introduced right at the beginning in the Mool Mantar. It is self-illuminating, self-sustaining. It keeps itself going and it keeps everything else going. We talk about renewable energies. Scientists are always on the lookout for an energy source that won't run out. This is something that we have within us. Life energy. Your body may die, but the life energy never dies. Energy can't be destroyed, only transferred. And it is here and it is yours for the taking. But there's a price to pay. If you want this commodity, you have to give your self-identity. That's the charge, that's the fee. For the chick to experience daylight, it has to be willing to break the shell of its own home. It has to be willing to give up everything it has ever known. Because before it knew what the day was, what the world was, it only knew the comfort of its own shell. So it doesn't know, if I break through this shell, maybe that's the end, maybe that's the death. Maybe that's the point at which my universe will come crashing down. And that's what we think about meditation. That if I lose my ego, I lose everything. But you don't lose anything, you lose the thing that was restricting you. You gain so much more. Jo kich paya so eka var kar kar vekhe sirjanhar. By creating and doing this, the sirjanhar, sirjana means to create. Sirjanhar is the creator, the one who is in charge of all of this, the one who is doing this. That life energy itself has done this and now is observing this. It creates and it observes. Kar kar vekhe. This idea has come up quite a few times already, that the creator is watching. And it's in its very simplistic translation, we fall back into the trap of duality. Mr. God has created the world and He is looking down on the world. That's very simplistic. A very crude way to understand this experience. That there is a creator who's sitting up in the sky. He's created us and now He's sitting there judging us. But Guru has said this quite a few times, that this thing is watching. In verse 27, Guruji says, Kar kar vekhe kita apna jiftis di vadiyai. By doing so, it observes what it has done according to its own greatness. In the last verse, Pauri 30, Guru says, O vekha, O na nadar na aave. It sees, but the things that it's looking at can't see back. So how do we understand this? How should we understand that there is something watching? This is the clearest indicator of how you can experience this divine. How you realize this divine is understood by understanding this concept of observing and watching. Guru Nanak Dev Ji in a Shabad on Ang 152, Gaudi Mahalla Pehla, says something very interesting. Kathata bakata sunata soi, aap bichare so gyani hoi. The one who speaks and listens is that one. The oneness is your speaking and the oneness is your listening. Kathata bhakta means to speak. Sunata soi. The one speaking through you is that one. The one listening is that one. God is the one talking. God is the one listening inside you. And God is also the one who is looking through your eyes. Right now you think it's me that is observing the world through your eyes. You think it's me that's watching. But the me is just a label that we've placed on the experience of watching. Watching is happening right now. Look around you. Watching is happening. There is the seeing that is being experienced. And we have placed a label on top of that and said, me, that's me. The one watching, the one doing the watching, I'm going to call that me. There is watching happening through your eyes right now. But we cannot say that it is me who is watching. Who is that me? What is me? And if for just one moment, if for just one instant you could look around and realize that the one watching is he, not me. The one watching is you, not me. Then the egg will crack. This is how you crack the egg. This is what the Naam Simran does. There's no point doing Naam Simran where for the rest of your life you keep calling Mr. God. Because you never break the shell of me, then within the shell of me, you can say whatever you want. You have to know that Naam Simran is to crack the egg. And how you can realize is by looking, and when you look around with your own eyes, you realize the one looking is he. The one that I've been calling is the one watching the world right now through my eyes. It's so close to you. It's already there. Jo kich paya so ekavar. It was already placed in you that first moment that you were created. You were created out of this watching. And that vekha that Guru Nanak keeps talking about is the key how you can realize where this God is. That's when the penny drops. That's when the delusion of homme, self-identity, shatters. At any time, when you see a problem in life, when you see a challenge, when you see a difficult circumstance and an unpleasant moment in front of you, just stop and think, who is watching? Who's observing this problem? Who is the one being affected? When you realize that it isn't me, that there is no me there anymore, then the problem disappears because the one being affected by the problem disappears. This is how we can live without the ego. This is the experience. Guruji concludes by saying, Nanak sache ki sachi kar. The permanent, says Nanak, that permanent one, this is their permanent way. This is the way. This is their creative way. This is how they are. This is what the experience is. Nanak says, Sache ki, the permanent one's permanent way, Sachikar. Nanak says this is the constant way of the one. This is how it always has been, and this is how it always will be. And this is how to find your true place. This is how to find your home amongst the stars. The home amongst the light. This is how to find your asana. But in this home, there's only room for one. There's not room for two. This is a home of one, a residence of one, where the one dwells within you and within all. And to this I bow, to this I bow. Ades tise ades. To the one who was right at the beginning, the Ad. The one who is pure, Anil. The one who is Anad, beyond ending, beyond beginning. Anahat, beyond ending. Jug Jug Eko Ves, who throughout the ages has had this only one form. I bow, to this I bow. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.